artists, creatives, designers, welcome to DreamAloud Art. It is so good to have you. I am your host, Electra, and it's also known as Dream. That's also people are calling me Dream because of the DreamAloud Art. But yes, thank you again for joining us. So if you're just coming through and you're like browsing around, you're like, what are these two folks talking about on this live? You know, who's Melsky talking to? And some of you are like, okay, who's Dream talking to? Go ahead and follow me at DreamAloud Art. Okay, go ahead and hit that follow button. And also in the pinned comment, you will see Melsky's tag. So go ahead and follow her too, and then jump right back on the live. When you're on my page, make sure you click on the link in my bio and then click subscribe on YouTube so you can get the full interview. IGTV only holds 15 minutes, all right? So all you get is a little preview there. But subscribe on YouTube so you can see the whole interview, all right, y'all? Okay, so our very special guest today, tis Melsky over there hanging out in London. I am feeling it. Yes, we got some folks saying that they love your energy, so that's what I'm talking about. So Melsky, we got some people on my page who are, jumping on this live. What exactly do you do, or what is your main passion project, or like what is your main focus? Do you have several focuses? Who is Melsky for the people that do not know who you are?
I think I'm a bit of a hodgepodge of things.
Okay, I understand. I'm with that.
Yes.
I'm with that. So tell me where you want to start, and like what is like your most passionate area, or where have you flourished the most? What is it?
My passion is actually in fashion design.
Okay. Oh snap!
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. That's a whole different subject there too. But go ahead, please educate us.
I wanted to be a fashion designer. Like that was what I always dreamed of. So, and then when I came here, because we moved, I actually okay. I want to be a fashion designer, but then I came to the UK and discovered that there's a whole. It's not just fashion design. There's a whole like web of stuff. So it's not just fashion.
Okay, school me. There's a whole web of stuff. So what is the heart of what you're saying? Did it necessarily change direction, or your interest just became stronger in a particular area or a couple other areas? What happened here?
Well, primarily it's fashion design, but I realized that it's influenced by pretty much everything, like music, and I love music, food, I love, architecture, and I was just like, all of these things can feed
okay, all right.
into fashion design. So I was just like, do you know what? Why put myself in a box that's just I'm a fashion designer? Why not do it? Because I could draw as well, and I was just like, do you know what? I love drawing, so I was just like, let me get good at drawing, and that's how I started drawing more.
Okay, all right. So you've given us an idea about where, I'm going to just say more recently, what's led you to where you're at now. But let's take a trip down memory lane here. Let's go all the way back. I'm doing air quotes because everybody's journey is different. But
back to reality.
Yeah. I love it. All right. So where in your life journey did you decide, like, we'll just use fashion design? At what point did you decide, you know what, oh my gosh, I think fashion is really what I'm feeling? Or have you always had or been gravitated to the arts in general, self-expression, and in general, like, what was it as far as art? Sometimes for some people it's kind of like that aha moment, like, you know what, I'm tired of not acting on my love for art. But then for some people they're like, I've always been a creative all my life. So what has it been like for you?
Since out of the womb, I was creative. Perfect. Actually, my mom used to sew her clothes. Like she used to sew her outfit, and I used to watch her, and I was just like, this is something I want to do. And then
all right, that's
we
awesome.
moved. I'm Zimbabwean, so I grew up in Africa. So we moved to London, and then it was just like, oh my God, there's so many different things.
Okay.
And then, like out of high school, they were like, oh, what do you want to do? And I said, now I grew up in an African household, and I said, I want to do fashion design. And you know, when you're just like, it's like a brick.
Okay. All right. So it's a few challenges there as far as what
and they were like, it's nice as a hobby. And I was like, yeah, but I love it. You know, I can really, I could see myself doing runway collections and like the whole shebang. And then I remember one of my aunties was like, you're wasting your life. You're wasting your years. Yeah, I really got it. I was like, but I remember she said that to me, and in my heart, at the same time that she was saying it, I was just like, no, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And not out of just being
courage. It takes courage to still move forward where your heart is, desires. It does take courage.
Yeah, it wasn't out of like defiance.
Right.
Even.
Right.
It was out of,
just standing and planting firmly in the direction you want to move in. It's not defiance.
Yeah. And I remember I sat down with my mom, and she said, are you sure about this? Because obviously there was the window was narrowing where I can select my choices. And I said to her, yeah, I really am keen on it. I'm gonna do it. So I did. I went in, I studied it in college. I was in love. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Oh my gosh, your college experience?
Yes, I was man. No. It's like it's I don't know. It's different in America. We have college here, and then we have university. Okay. So I did it's like 2 years out of high school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So during that time, I was like, this is my life. I love it.
Yeah, you were fully into it.
Yeah, but I couldn't follow it through to university. But then I was just like, do you know what? I don't need the box of university to contain me for something like fashion design.
That's right.
Where your inspiration comes from literally everywhere. So
everywhere. I'm look, you and me right here, Melcy. I'm telling you. So I'm feeling every word that you were saying. I really do feel it, because it's true. You can catch inspiration from, someone else overhearing a conversation between two people, from switching the channel, and you catch something visually that's like, I wonder if I could tie that into fashion design. So yeah, I get it. So even though you did have some of those challenges within your family, where was it that you had more support, perhaps, or has it mostly been with yourself, or what has that been like at what point? I guess that's what I'm wondering. Support.
I've got my sisters, the sisters.
All right. Okay.
My sisters have been always the support system for me.
That's beautiful.
It's like they are my best friends, and it's just like
shout out.
We talk to each other like no matter, and it's just like it's nice to have someone in your circle who you can bounce ideas off of without feeling stupid.
Yes, less the judgment, please. Like less the judgment. Just hear out my idea, right? To
have the full confidence of being able to say, do you know what? Today I feel like I really want to be like a paraglider, and they'll be like, hello, are you sure you want to do that? And it's like, I've researched paragliding, I know everything, the wind. And they're like, yeah, but that's not where your passion, that's not where your heart is. And then, it's like they can wind you down. So my sisters have been the greatest support for me. And they've always said, you know what? I remember one time I think I went into a bit of a dark spot, out of college. And I remember I stopped drawing, because it was always an escape for me and a coping mechanism to be able to put pen to paper and just come up with something.
Many artists, myself included, it was definitely that for me. It was therapy for me. So
it is.
And then I took a hiatus. Do we all experience this? We take hiatuses and we just disappear off the face of the map. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. I stopped drawing, and I just they were like, do you know what? You should just do what you love. Because I was just going into a really, a bit of a spiral. They're like, oh, do you know what? the first tablet that I ever got was from my sister. She got it from the grocery.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Good.
It was a bamboo Wacom tablet, and I really.
Oh snap!
Yes. I was like, you know, when you're just like, when you cry tears of joy. It wasn't a pair of socks. It was like a tablet.
I get it. Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
So I was like, yeah, I was like, this is a sign for the future. But she invested in me at that point, and I was just like, I can't give up. And
oh man, I love it. Oh, good. See, and it's vital. Support is vital. And even if you don't get it, you know, just having many conversations with many artists, even if you don't get it from home, having a support system with your friends or, you know, your colleagues if they're in college or wherever, you know, it is vital. And if it's like, even though you can do some amazing things by yourself, I've been there before where I did some amazing things without having a particular network of people. You know, I did have my sister in my corner, so I did some amazing things. But then in retrospect, I'm like, you know what? I did know a lot of artists. You know, I could have bounced ideas off of them too, instead of trying to figure it out on my own. So a support system is it's vital, you know, so you can always go a bit further when you have people and you include people.
For the most part, I was just drawing by myself. I just recently started this Instagram business, and then that was a whole nother world that I found out.
A whole nother world,
I was like,
wait.
Yes.
As far as the network of artists.
Yes, and when I first started, I remember I was just like, what do you even do with Instagram? What even? And I thought it was like food photos, and I was like, you know what? I love food, so why not? You know, I take pictures of my food.
By the way, I saw your little highlight over here about your little food experiences. I just looked at it for the first time. Before we got on the interview, I looked at one that says Foodscapes, and I was just like, I wanted to cry because I haven't been out dining in about a month. So it's like,
oh man, love. That is my second passion. Food.
Well, I will say, you look like you are truly flourishing as far as Instagram, and you got more well versed with it. Absolutely. So you discovered a whole network of artists through there, as you were saying.
Yeah, and it was just, I remember, it was slow and steady for me to begin with, and it was like, if you scroll down my timeline, you can see how far I've grown. It's actually
I have, by the way. I did go back a little ways. And I was like,
yes,
oh, wow.
You can see. And I tell this to my nieces who, like, because she is like into drawing and animation as well. And she's like, well, like 12 or 11. And I always say this to her. I always show her my old drawings. I'm like, look, just keep drawing, because I came from here to there.
Yeah.
And it was a process.
Yeah, you hone in on your craft, you know, and whatever direction you want to take it, as I communicate with other artists, whatever direction you want to take it is wherever you want to take it. But it's always best, I'll just say my rule of thumb, to again do what you love. That was a key piece of advice that one of my professors gave me. I don't know, where are we right now? Maybe about 15 years ago. Do exactly what you love.
Was that in your other video that you just did?
Yes, it was a solo. Yeah, so do exactly what you love. So I love the evolution on your page. I love the growth. So let's move in that direction with some of the questions. And I've been telling our viewers, the people that are just joining, if you have some questions, go ahead and tap that question mark card and put your question there. And when we do Q&A, we'll draw from the stack of cards of questions. Okay, y'all. So let me go to your page, and I'm really curious about some of the content. I just like to hear your perspective on it. You know, I mean, it's one thing to read the caption, but then it's another thing to make it a conversation. So here's one of, of course I already posted one of my favorites today, but this one is really intriguing. So what can you tell us about this one? You know, what is as far as the subject matter, and how did this artwork come to be? You know, where did it come from?
Okay, that came from OB. It was actually OB. Obelisk. Yes. He messaged me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he messaged me, and it's just like honestly, he's been an absolute force. He's been a tour de force.
Yeah, he's
I'm so glad I made friends with him. I'm so glad because you know what, yeah? 90 like you know when you go into like a rut, like I go into art blocks like
yeah, you have that moment. Create a blog.
And every time I'm thinking, oh, I just can't be bothered. Everything sucks. I'll get a message from Obi. I'm getting the app back together. We've got a project. Do you want to be in it? And I'm just like,
oh wow!
You know what?
It's like perfect timing.
It is. It forces me to ask myself every time. It forces me to ask myself: do I want to sit and wallow, or do I want to take up the challenge? So
I love it.
By force, I take my art block head on. You know, true anime style, big forehead, just push.
I can't. Okay, all right. See, that's what
head on. I'm like, okay, Obi. Yeah. I hate drawing hands, but if I have to watch tutorials draw hands, I'm gonna do it today. You know.
Oh my gosh. So he reached out to you for this particular one. He reached out like about that time.
Yeah, and to be honest, we did. There's been a few other collabs as well, but I don't know if you've seen them. But he's been a major driving force in sort of getting involved in. You know, he's just like, oh, you know, you can do it. I remember when he started, it was like he was also going through his own journey and figuring out the digital work. I remember we talked to each other. He's just like, oh, you know, when you send each other tutorials and stuff like that, it's like. This is nice because it's like people talking to each other, helping each other. I was like, I like this. Yeah, I could be having a stressful day at work, and you know, have Obi be like, oh my god, look at this, or like super mega dopey dope. You know, he would be like, he would post a.
If I hear
you post a picture.
I'm gonna scream because everybody is talking about super mega dopey dope. Oh my god! But yes, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if we'll get into this, but it's the whole OC thing. You know, it's
what is it? Okay. What do you mean?
But okay, I'm a stan for OCs. When I first
what OC is what?
Or original characters.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, I love the creativity of it. Just like picking out an idea from your head.
That's right. I have serious respect for original characters.
Yes.
I really respect that. It's like, where did they come from? Wait, so is this an original character? My bad. This one?
Yes, that's my baby Isolde. I named her after the
Let me just hold it up. I'll just hold it up while you continue so people know.
I named her after Tristan and Isolde, but you know, I called her Isolde. She's a witch. She's head of a witch council. She's bad, you know. It's nice. God. And she fused with Ghost Boy, who's by T. Scott's original art, I think.
I just saw that in the caption. Got you.
Oh my god. I was like, I need to do this fusion. I had no idea how I was going to approach it at the time, but I was just like, I'm in love with T. Scott's original characters.
But do we know, like, Melski, do we really know how we're going to approach it at the beginning? You know, like, isn't it more of like a matter of like getting started and moving, and then it starts to like come into fruition? It's like,
you know what,
how I feel about it. Like, I mean,
you chip away at it. You chip away at it, and it's just like I normally.
Yes, there you go. Yes,
I normally get an epiphany.
What's that?
I get an ephany. Like,
what's that?
Just before I close my eyes when I go to bed.
Right. I'm telling you. And look, I'm gonna put out somebody out there is definitely gonna learn from this, and I'll. You can cash at me $1,000. Here's my message to get past creative block. I need to do a video on it. To get past.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, I better write that down. To get past creative block, do something really fun that takes your whole attention to that. Like for some people it's video games or whatever. You go shopping and have a good dining experience. As soon as you like forget about that thing you're trying to like pick apart in your mind, then something else will slide in. Kind of like what you just said, like before you go to bed or something. Like as soon as you were like in a completely relaxed or even enjoyable state, because you've let that thought process relax, then it'll open up a little pathway. All of a sudden you catch inspiration from somewhere and you're like, oh yeah.
Just
what? Yeah,
got it.
It can come from anywhere, you know. So but anyway, there's my little plug right there. But
no, do it. I think you should do a video on it. It would be so helpful because like yeah.
I'll be right. I better write that down right now. I'm writing it down, Melsky. Hold on.
Epiphany moments. Everyone's getting free tips today. Free tips. Free tips.
For sure. And you know what? You have a couple more questions. I think we have 3 questions at this point in the stack of cards here, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm going to ask you, because you were just talking about collabs and things like that. When I look at your page, what is, and you know, we're going back here, and I'm just, even though I go back, I mean, I still see a lot that I'm just really loving, but I understand we all know what our personal growth is. So even if it is, for example, like, oh, I used to really struggle drawing hands, you know, and one may not have realized that early in your journey.
Hate them.
But you know, girl, I hate them too. Trust me, like I used to draw nudes when I was in college. We, you know, it was part of our assignment, right?
Oh, we did it.
I avoided feet and hands at all costs. I was like, I do not want to draw them things like ever. But I will say, what do you believe has been your, I'll just say, where you've had the most growth? That's what I'm looking for. Where you've had the most growth when you look, and I'm saying solely based on what you shared on Instagram, your earlier work to where you're at right now. What area do you believe you had the most growth? Is it the use of colors? Is it the selection of the subject? Is it the people that you collaborated with? And, you know, I mean, what has been to you the area you had the most growth in?
Most growth, I would say probably like colors and composition. I know it's a bit ironic for someone who does fashion to not know about colors, but then it's just like I would every day is a learning process.
But go ahead. What's that?
Every day is a learning process.
Okay.
So
sure.
just like,
for sure.
But I would say, colors. I still struggle with patterns.
Wait a minute.
So
you still struggle. Hold on. How do you struggle with colors? With your choice of colors?
No, with patterns. With patterns.
Oh, patterns.
I love patterns. I love patterns.
Okay,
no,
like in what sense? What do you mean?
In like you know how you have those African like fabrics, like think Wakanda, yeah, right? You know, like what all of them want. Sure. I love them, and it's just like for me to be able to illustrate something like that. That's one of my goals. I want to be able to do that.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And this is where people like where my growth with collaborations comes in, because someone like Obi is not afraid to throw a pattern out there, or the Fresh Ones. Have you heard of them?
If I hear the Fresh Ones one more time, and I'm exaggerating, I'm sure you know that, because I have so much respect for both Super Mega Dopey Dope and the Fresh Ones, because everybody is very supportive of them too. So
do you know what? For me personally, it's because I did collabs with them. This was like it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and one of my first major like asks, and I am not I'm like kind of like shy and stuff like that. So I remember I was still getting to,
really. I don't believe that. unless it's just our energy and you feel comfortable. But I'm like, really? You said okay?
No, I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable talking to you. I feel comfortable talking to you. So it's not that deep. But I was like, I was nervous because this was the first time I'd interacted with people who I was following, right? They asked me to come through, and they said, you know what, we're getting. It was an initiative actually. It was like known artists working with unknown artists.
Okay.
Who were kind of good, and it was a good mix of people, and we had a group chat. It was 7 Deadly Sins challenge, and all of us got to do
I just learned about 7 Deadly Sins and started watching it, and I can't stop watching it. But go ahead.
This was more in the traditional Dante sense. Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, oh, you're talking about the show. Okay.
No, so we were supposed to take
challenge. Got you.
Yeah, we were supposed to take the scene and then sort of like
illustrate it, draw it.
Yes.
Display it.
So I was like, at this point, I wasn't confident with my digital drawing at all. So it was like, because I still felt uncomfortable, and like I had so many unknown things, and I'd binge watch tutorials, and I just felt I wasn't good enough to be going, with the fresh ones who was in the group, and J Tunes was in the group, and I think there was Death to Cornbread as well, and I was just
who is this? You gotta tell me who this is. I never heard.
Oh, Death to Cornbread.
He's Cornbread.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Like literally his name. Okay. He's also a guru. He's a major guru. He put me on. I remember it was comfortable to ask them because I was just like, how did you guys, get to where you were? And he was
right.
Like, showing us all the old comic artists, I'd heard of Frank Frazetta, but I'd never researched him before. And, it was thanks to him that I started looking into like classical comic book artists and stuff like that. I'd never done research into that before, like inking style.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
It was thanks to them, the fresh ones and all of them, that like they put in that input. I remember J2, they were just like, yeah, look into it. These are the people that we did, and these are the books that we read, and it was up to me to take that information and use it. Right. So I was like,
oh, my gosh. See, look at all of that, support and the things that you're learning, and I've been exposed to quite a bit, with DreamAloud art and networking and communicating with some just amazing people, period. So, that's very cool. I'm really glad to hear that. I am. It's refreshing, really.
But this was like 4 years ago, and I remember I was so fresh, and I was just like, I was stressing out. Like, I was just like, I can't. These people are big. They have like 11,000 followers, 12,000 followers. I was like,
oh gosh, you're gonna get me started here because I got 5 questions from our viewers, so I'm gonna start on the Q&A in a moment. But you hit on a few points that sometimes, like when it comes to your confidence, just as a person to begin with, but we'll speak in the context of confidence as an artist, like that carries so much weight with your work, because some people believe that they have to become better, whatever that is, but become better at what they're doing in order for the confidence to land. But the confidence is the fuel. The confidence is the fuel. So it's almost like no matter what you are producing, if you have the confidence to back it and say, this is what I do, like that carries so much more weight, than feeling like the development of the skill will gain the confidence. It's the confidence that has to start first. I'll say that. But but yeah, we could be on a roll, Melski. I'm over here like, what? So I'm just excited for you. Your journey is still continuing. God willing, just continue to move forward with it. So I'm really excited. But I appreciate everything that you've shared with us, and a little bit of Q&A coming from me and just us bouncing back and forth. We're going to go ahead and dive into the cards and the questions and because that can get a little extensive too, depending on what the question is. Okay, so we're gonna jump into that. That's hilarious. You're like, your dance just like finalized the transition into the Q&A. You're like, you know, you're like, and now for the Q&A. All right, let me look at the cards. Let me see what kind of questions we have here. Okay, somebody had posed this one way early and was preparing for the interview. Avetus. His name is Avetus. I know who he is. So he says, what are your thoughts on breaking the laws of color theory?
Breaking color theory.
Breaking the laws of color theory, yes.
Yo, this is like
back on it.
I don't even know what to say to that.
How to respond to color theory, girl? I don't even know. I'm over here like
I hate color. I hate color theory.
Yeah, you hate color theory. I didn't understand what the heck was going on when we studied that subject in college, because I was like, color theory, the heck? But anyway, that's all good.
I don't like color theory, but in terms of breaking the laws of color theory, I'm all for it, because like if you put into perspective of the African prints that I was talking about, most of them break color theory all the time. To be honest, the most successful looking ones are the ones that really go wild. You're like, there's no.
Now, is this in reference to, because you'll have to look, I know I studied, you see all these air quotes, I studied color theory. A girl can't remember that. I can't remember what color theory was all about, for real. So when it comes to color theory, does this have to do with complementary colors and things of that nature? Okay, because that, you throw that out the window. To me, I'm like, ain't nobody thinking about that. Like, that's how I feel about it too. I'm right there with you, Melski. I'm like,
yeah, because look, if you look at it this way, if you go into like haute couture fashion, look at like any major designer, at some point in their life, they've broken the rules of color theory.
Okay,
so
I'm
it's
right
like,
there with you. Look, high five, boom, high five.
They are made to be broken. They are made to be broken at some point. But the same people who come back and be like, today red is the season. It's all red on red. It's monotone. we're having just red.
It's true. That's exactly how they sound. It's just like, nobody thinking about you. Okay, so thank you for that feedback. Let's get to the next question here. Let's see what we have. All right, this one is from Fadzai Angelina. Okay, Fads something Angelina. Okay, what gender do you like drawing more and why?
I like drawing girls.
Gender. Girls. Okay. All right, for sure. I got you. I can tell by You know, to me, like when it comes to drawing as a woman, drawing women, what I used to really love to put focus on is the face. So I would draw so many faces of women, and it's just like, I'd say, and I really want to find out your perspective, it was just not only, identifiable, feature wise identifiable, but there's just a flow to it. For me, there's just a flow in the creation, you know, the curve of the face, the curve of the body. And what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm more familiar with
identifying,
you know.
Yeah, it's just the identification.
And the thing is, I dig you with the face, because for me it was always the eyes. They're like one of my favorite parts to draw, because it's just like they can be, I struggle with expressions, but I'm learning. But they're my favorite thing to draw, because in real life you interact with someone, you look them in the face, you look them in the eyes. The eyes tell you a lot more.
Window to the soul. There you go.
Yes.
It tells the story.
And this is where the problem comes, because when I meet people, it's like, oh my God, don't look them in the eye. Don't look them in the eye.
Oh my gosh. Because it's like, you know what? Well, it's like you're seeing their true, their true self. You know, if you look them directly.
Yeah, no. If they look me in the eye, they might see I'm weird. You know, they might. Oh God, and it's just like, don't look me in the eyes.
Look behind, wearing shades and stuff. Girl, I know people are funny, but let's look at the next question. Thank you for answering that one. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we got one from Cassian, who says, "What artist inspires you the most?" What artist inspires you the most?
That's a tough question. However, I would like to say the artist I found the most interesting research on was Mobius.
Who?
Mobius.
Yeah,
he did a bunch of, I think he's a French artist, and he's like, Moebius, I think. Mobius. Yeah, he's like he did a lot of
I'm just checking to see if there's anything Mobius. Go ahead.
Really like intricate illustrations. Like he did I can't remember one of the like comic book series that he did, but I was put onto him by Death to Comrade.
Okay, I'm curious. Okay, Death to Comrade. Yeah, all right.
He was like check this guy out, blah 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 blah, and I kind of stumbled across. I was just like, whoa, you know, he did this really famous drawing of Jimi Hendrix, and it was like it was nice, and I was just like, do you know what? I aspire to be like that. The level of it's like he did illustration the same way that I don't know if you know Kim Jung-hee. He's this Korean illustrator. So it's all right.
Sounds familiar. It sounds familiar. That really does. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. That's all I can say is I'm curious. I'll have to find out a little more.
But I like Mobius because his use of color. He did that color theory thing, the whole warm, cool shadow thing. And I remember at one point I wanted to try and do comics.
Looks like somebody Googled
it
already.
Cassie Johan! Yes! John Henry.
All right.
There he is.
All right.
That's him. Cool. Mobius.
I'm with it. I will certainly find out more. I sure am curious. So yeah, I gotta know who's inspiring the great Melsky over here. We need to know this. So yeah, for sure.
The way that he used ink and the way that he just worked with ink, I fell in love with it. I was just like, okay, I can learn from this, and I did. And at some point, I felt my style changing because I was just like, I really wanted to get like all of the little intricate details and all that jazz, and I was just like, but then my wrist started to cough up, and I was like, oh, Kai.
Oh, God. All right, Aaliyah, it looks like some folks are pretty in tune with Mobius. You know, there's a couple people that have noted about what he does mainly with ink. So yeah, I definitely would love to find out more. We're going to see if we can get one more question in because we got a little bit more after the Q&A from our folks. So, okay, here's one from Alanosis. She says, if you could give advice to the world, what would you say? Advice. This is a memo that's going out to the whole world. What would you say?
To the whole world.
What would Melsky say?
I would say be kind.
World. Be kind. I love it. I have a shirt that says be kind. There you go.
Be kind.
That's what I'm talking about. It goes a long way.
It's also the hardest thing to do, especially when you're having a bad day.
It can be. Yeah, it can be. Oh gosh, tighten that lip, boy. That's the don't mess with Melsky expression right there. That's all that is. So I want to thank our viewers for putting in those questions. We truly appreciate it. And thank you, Melsky, for answering those questions. So we got a couple more segments and then we're going to bring it to a close. But the next segment is reverse roles. So I'm going to ask you, have any questions for me, the great Melsky? Do you have any questions for me?
You kind of, I would say, do you still draw? Like
okay. On a deeper level, I would like to call it drawing, but what I do more of is writing. So I actually practice calligraphy. Uh-oh. What's going on? What?
I do too. Like if I'm not drawing, I usually like write my stories of my OCs.
Oh,
and
okay.
No, and at one point I pick up languages as well. So it's like, that's really cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So,
Look, I have my notepad right here. So then I just practice with my letters, and I just.
oh wow.
Yeah.
I did that with Russian letters though.
Whoa, snap! Melsky, why you always gotta be so Melsky? You know what I mean? Like, why are you so Melsky though? Like, that's like something. That's awesome. I think that's beautiful. That's really.
I wanted to give myself a challenge. I was just like, you know what? Why not? Why not? So I actually did calligraphy. That's really dope. Really hard, and it's my forehead.
Okay. What? You need to stop. Somebody said earlier, they're like, we all have big foreheads. Look, we all do. Look, I got one. It's all good. All right, cool. Is that the only question that you have?
And I wanted to ask if I could, like, how big do you think your company is going to be? Because I like what you're doing.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I like what you're doing a lot. If I was a rich person, I would totally invest, because I really understand, like, going behind the artists, supporting them, and we need more people like you.
Oh man, that's deep.
If that makes sense.
I'm greatly humbled, so I really appreciate it.
I think I like to think of you like as, one of them patrons. Like, before Patreon was a thing, like, you are the person who would be like, you know what, I like this artist, there's someone else who would be really cool, and you'd show them. You're the bridge.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I was thinking, like, how do you see yourself getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah, I do. But the thing I always think about, and I always put in the forefront, are the artists. Like, I couldn't possibly. I have two people on my team that help with this. Okay, so we bounce ideas off each other, just like you were saying. A support system, absolutely vital. But I couldn't, I can't just come up with these things. Y'all are the artists are the ones that are helping the art community grow, because that's all that I think about, is as I'm growing, as we're growing, we're all growing, because I really want it to be and continue to be a platform that highlights y'all. Like, it's all about the artist. It doesn't matter where you're at in your career. If you're established and you're making millions, or if you're living with your parents and you're in college, if you're doing it and you're being a creative, you have an opportunity that's available to the next artist, We all have the same opportunity. So a hashtag, I finally put it in my my bio on Instagram, hashtag the Oprah of art. That is the goal.
Ooh.
The goal is to be on that scale where somebody who's completely unknown in the art world, once they're introduced through RTA, Respect the Artists, once they're introduced through DreamAloud, it's like, whoa, it's like an influx. And that's what I would want for the artists. I want an influx of people to just flood you, and to go from 0 followers to whatever, 1 million, whatever, like, that's the goal. The goal is to continue that exposure and that push for y'all. So yeah, the Oprah of art, that's the vision. So I appreciate
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it. Y'all motivate me, let me tell you. And I'm sure you've probably seen some story posts where I truly, like, I express how I feel about the art that I'm looking at. I'm just like, dang, like, look at this, because it's exciting to me. I'm an artist.
You stand for it. Yes.
Always been. So I feel it.
I feel the same.
Yeah. Melsky, that's what's up. Yeah, so you charged me up again here. So we're gonna move forward. Thank you for your questions once again. I really do appreciate it. It's always very centering and humbling to have these conversations. So we're gonna close it out with a little bit of fun, a little bit of word game fun. Are you familiar with the word game? This is actually different. I did something different for you. It's a word game, but it's got its own unique twist. So I feel like you're not familiar with it. I'm not
familiar with it. If you run me the rules.
I thought that I was going to do the word game. When I said that, I want to ask if you're familiar with it, but I actually came up with something else. And this is the color and scent game. Color and scent game. All right. So like the scent of something. Okay. So I'm going to call up a color. Melski, okay. I'm gonna call off a color. I'm gonna call off a color, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Answer within 2 to 3 seconds. First thing that comes to your mind that you identify a scent with the color. All right. So, example: if I said gold, then you have to come up like, what does gold smell like? What smells like? What does gold smell like to you?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna call off the color. You tell me the scent. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. I got 10 of them for you. All right.
Rock and roll.
Here we go. First word, or first color rather, red. What is the scent of red? What's red smell like?
Strawberries.
Ooh, okay. I like it. Oh, you're gonna make me like this game, okay? Because you're gonna have some amazing answers. Next color is pink. Pink. What does pink smell like?
Roses.
Roses? All right. Okay, strawberries, roses, what's going on? You got a boo or something that you think about?
I'm in love. I'm in love.
I can't. All right. Okay, the next color is orange.
Oranges.
I was like, oh dang, please don't say oranges.
That was so hard. I was fighting everything. I was trying to think, oh, what the hell? It smells like oranges.
All right, it's all good. I love it. I love it, Melski. Okay, next color is purple. Purple.
Palmer violets.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
That's a great answer. What the heck? I feel like you just won an award. That was a really good answer. All right, next color is white. What does white smell like?
What does white smell like? Ashes.
Ashes, dang. Okay, I guess so. Your facial expressions are priceless because then you're like, okay.
It sounds really morbid though, because then it's just like, oh,
I know,
white ashes.
That's why I'm in tears, Melski. Thank
Death.
you. Okay.
What does white smell like? Death. Smells like death.
I'm done. All right, next color is black. What does black smell like?
Oh no, death.
Stop. Oh my god.
Okay. Black. It's squid ink. Squid ink.
Squid ink. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I love how you think. I really do. Okay. The next color is green. What does green smell like?
Mint.
Mint.
That's
yes,
about mint. Yeah.
That's very. My goodness. I don't know. Is it the fashion designer in you?
I've got a little mint baby. I grow mint. My own mint. My own organic mint.
Oh, so you connected to it in that way. All right. We only have a couple more. Actually, 3 more. Yellow. What does yellow smell like?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Okay. All right. I'm with it. Next word is, or next color, turquoise. Turquoise.
Salt. Like
salts.
Like the sea. Yeah.
I got you. You're just deep and creative thinker. And your final word is brown. Brown.
Poo.
Stop. Stop. Oh my God. Oh Lordy me. You are so silly. Like, what is priceless is exactly how you said it. You said it like you just jumped like, bam, like I'm going to say it. Yeah, I'm just going. Wow. I'm telling you. Oh my God. I love it. Hilarious. All right, Sean.
I'm sorry. I was really hoping you wouldn't. I was really hoping you wouldn't.
Facial expression that won me over. I was like, what? Because you just like jumped right out there and said it. I'm with it.
It's my favorite emoji. It's my favorite emoji. I love the poo emoji.
Melski, you are a trip. Oh my God, y'all, you have been very entertaining. I want to thank all of our viewers, most definitely, and I want to ask you, after I upload, you're a trip. We're gonna have to do this again. But after I upload your video for the IGTV video, if you will drop in the comments some artists that you want to put me onto, like the cornbread, the Death to Cornbread, for example. But just drop as many artists as you can so I can continue to support them. Most definitely. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Do you have anybody you want to give a shout out to as we close this out?
Shout out to my sisters in the comments. Yeah, you're the real ones.
Yes. Yes, I love that. I love how they were supporting you. I think that's beautiful. So big shouts to them. I know we've had some. Go ahead.
Shout out to you, actually. Big up yourself. Big up to you because yes, you need to be bigged up. Thank you so much for your platform. I had a riot.
Yeah, thank you for your art. Thank you for your creativity because that's what's brought us to this point. So it's brought us right here, right now, in this moment. So I really do appreciate you. And keep doing what you're doing, please. You know, like, just keep moving forward with it. And keep me updated also as we close out. Keep me updated if there's any way that, you know, I can share. Because, you know, I love to share stuff. So just, you know, let me know if you have something going on or you're working on a project or something like that. And so I can share it with our tribe, okay?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So peace to everybody. Once again, make sure you follow Melski, okay? Her tag is, or she is tagged in the comments below. Make sure you follow me at DreamAloud Art if you're just browsing and coming through. And click the link in my bio. Subscribe on YouTube so you can be prepared once I upload the full interview. This has been a fantastic interview. So RTA stands for Respect the Artist. Dream Aloud, y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Peace from here to the far east, y'all. And Melski, I'm going to close out on this side, okay? I'm going to close it out for you. All right. Okay, much love, girl. I'll be messaging you later on, okay?
Okay, bye.
All right, take care. Y'all, you just witnessed greatness with the one and only Melski Mel01. Make sure you follow her, most definitely, and make sure you follow me at DreamAloud Art. Thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. So peace from here to the far east. RTA stands for Respect the Artist, most definitely, okay? DreamAloud, love y'all, all right? So we'll catch you on the other end. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and share, let it go viral organically.